Greetings and happy Monday, everyone. In this week's video, week 2, I wanted to go over the announcements and reminders. But before I get into that, I want to make sure to share with you all how impressed and how awestruck I was um, viewing each one of your 8 noun videos. The time, the effort, the thoughtfulness that went into the creation of those videos was phenomenal. I even had a couple of the other instructors who have access to the Blackboard shell comment on how phenomenal a job you all did. So I wanted to just thank each of you for your videos. Brandon, what a wonderful, how jealous I was to see you in the boat and with the guitar. Jillian, I really enjoy you talking about Barcelona and how important your pillow is to you. It's important to me as well. Janessa, I feel you on the coffee. Have to have it every morning. And needing sleep. That was somewhat of a theme that was discussed over and over again, and that is needing sleep. Jillian talked about that. Uh, and so did, there's one other person that mentioned sleep. Um, Marie talked about it a little bit about sleep. Um, let's see. And so Marie talked about, she talked about being a mother, which was really great, really great. MJ, we really appreciate that. And then also being an insomniac. So I'm a fellow insomniac, as she showed you all in her video. Um, Nor, what great advice about shoes. So I really enjoyed your video. Shoes, and then also the packing nut. Wow, that is such a creative way to describe yourself. So thanks for sharing that. Veronica, New York and food. Love New York City. Went a couple of years ago. And food. I mean, love food. Bow. Loved your discussion about your mom. So that was just wonderful. And then also about service. So important. That plays into, in a sense, this week's readings. And I'm going to talk about that in just a moment. Kim, you talked about being a listener and having patience. And that I know you have in spades, both of those. Melanie, you talked about the ocean and being a campaigner. You did a great description of both of those and what those meant to you. And then Shane, you mentioned being an engineer and also being a Houstonian and how important that is to you. So I'm with you, sister. Houstonian all the way. Texan too. Texan, Houstonian. I have to say I love them equally both. I love them both equally. So I thank you all so very much for sharing your 8 nouns. Again, it was wonderfully creative, and I really do appreciate you all taking the effort and having the energy to complete the assignment. Okay. I am going to watch, I'm in the process of watching your discussion videos. And so I'm going to have feedback to you by the end of the week on those videos. So hopefully you can use that information to help inform your knowledge for this week. So I'm going to move into the specific announcements and reminders for this week. So just make sure that every week that you are reviewing the syllabus, okay, there's information specific to each assignment. In the course syllabus, there's information specific to the grades or the points assigned for each one of those assignments in the syllabus. And then also there's the calendar, okay? And so the calendar outlines what's due for the week. It even has some information there about pertaining to or suggesting when you should get started on an assignment, like the reflective journal, which is mentioned in this week in terms of you all getting started on that. So just make sure that every week that you're doing your due diligence to read through the course syllabus pertaining to what's due for the upcoming week and weeks, so that way you can get a sense of what's coming down the pipe. Okay. So let's see. Your readings for this week is going to be the introduction and chapter 1 in the GenLink text. That's a book that you do not have, but the readings are going to be in the week 2 folder, okay? In the week 2 folder, in the overall content folder for the class. So you'll be able to access the readings there. Um, and then also, you will be able to find the video, which is on John Dewey. And so, although it's in the syllabus, you can also find it in the folder as well. Okay. And just make sure that you also begin work on your reflective journal this week. So I've already mentioned that, but I just want to make sure that you do begin work on your reflective journal this week. So that way you could have enough entries so that by the end of the semester you would have met your minimum 10 entries. Okay. So the reflective journal, the reason why I have you all, the reason why I assign this the reason why this is an assignment in the course, excuse me, is because it's important as teachers that we are reflective about our practice. You're going to hear me drill that day in and day out about what it means to be an educator, okay? So we teach children every day. We teach people. We teach human beings every day. And it's important for us to digest what we've taught, how we've taught it. It's the only way that we're going to think about ways to make learning meaningful for our students and to think about ways that we can improve upon our instructional methods. Okay. And so it's important to get into the habit of being reflective, and that's the point of you all having the reflective journal as an assignment. And so it's merely about your reflections over the course of the week, your reflections about what you've learned, what are some questions that you may have about what you've learned, what are some things that intrigued you, what are some things that surprised you, what are some things that worried you or concerned you. And so specifically think about your instructional practice, think about what you're learning in the Knowing and Learning course specifically in terms of how students acquire knowledge, what's the role of culture in their learning of STEM material. So it's about reflection and being reflective. Each entry must be a minimum of 1 page. Okay, so 10 one-page entries is what's required for this assignment. So even if you jot down some ideas and then you go in at the end of the week and you write more fully about those things that intrigued you over the course of the week, that's a good way to approach it. Okay. Okay. The other thing that I want to make sure that I cover is your discussion videos. So, so like I said, I am in the process of viewing those. For the upcoming discussion videos, just make sure that you all are aware that they're due in terms of the weeks that they are due, they're due on Saturday of that week, okay, by 11:59 p.m. And so this week you'll have the GenLink, the intro in chapter 1, as well as the John Dewey video to discuss, okay. And so John Dewey is an American philosopher who focuses on the importance of education and its role in democracy and creating a democratized society. He's one of our great philosophers in terms of education and a plethora of other aspects of pertaining to American education and democracy. But in particular, John Dewey's work has been used to cite the importance in terms of access to equitable education, ensuring that we have an educated citizenry, and just the importance, the central importance of what it means to have a great educational system in America and the world over. So we're going to start with John Dewey in terms of the philosophers that we're going to learn about this semester to kind of set the tone for our learning. And so when it comes to your video discussions, those that used a platform like Zoom or Skype for Business or Skype seem to have the ability to really capture everyone's contributions. So that's something that I highly suggest that you all use. I also suggest that you use that maybe you use an app like GroupMe um, to be able to communicate with one another about the best time and location for you, about the best time for you all to come together and to conduct your discussions. Okay. You can also use the discussion board in your individual learning communities to come together to communicate with one another about the best time. Um, and so I know that right after class and coming together to meet and have a discussion may seem to be the easiest approach to have, but it can be difficult to understand what everyone is saying, and how they're contributing. Whereas if you use Zoom or Skype for Business and you record and post the video, it captures everyone's contribution. So it dials into, or it captures each person's portion of the discussion. Okay. And you're allowed to share your screen. So if you are the discussion leader for the week, you're able to share your screen and share the PowerPoint presentation as well. I really want y'all to get into the habit of using Zoom and Skype, or Skype for Business, or some of the platform like it, because it's something that it has really become extremely popular in terms of using these platforms for professional meetings, for webinars, for discussions. It allows you to meet with people abroad. So it really expands our ability to connect with one another. So I really want you to become familiar with this type of technology. Okay. So I'm going to challenge you to make sure that you use Zoom or Skype for Business for your upcoming virtual discussion. Remember, the virtual discussions must be a minimum of 45 minutes to receive full points. Okay. So I'm going to be a stickler for that, 45 minutes. So if you are a discussion leader, think beyond what's listed in the PowerPoint. Think beyond what's listed in the syllabus about what should be included in the PowerPoint presentation to guide your discussion. So come up with some backup or plan B questions to continue the discussion, and to challenge your learning community members to think more deeply about the readings. Okay, you all did a great job this past week, but this is what it means to be prepared to generate thoughtful discussion. So make sure that you come up with not only the points that are mentioned in the syllabus that should be included in the PowerPoint, but maybe come up with a few questions, or think about a couple of different angles from which you can dissect the readings and the videos. Okay, just so that you can ensure that you're able to generate 45 minutes of discussion. All right. Okay, I hope y'all have a great week. I'll see you on Tuesday. And as always, make sure to send me an email if you have questions, or drop by my office, and let me know how things are going. Okay. All right. Have a great week, y'all. Bye.